Hello everyone. I think it is time to introduce myself since you've been listening to my voice and my Greek accent for quite some time. My name is Ais Angelai and I am the director of RPG Stories. We have decided to start this new playlist of videos where I will be demonstrating RPG stories by building at the same time a big campaign adventure. This adventure is the main campaign of my homebrew world set of Moonstone. Let's say it is the equivalent of what War of the Lands is for Dragonlance. Before I start, let's set a few rules. I will be building the campaign without revealing the plot, so that you can leave it as a player. In the journal, I will be placing just notes, and I'm not gonna put there huge blocks of text at the moment. Sometimes the pace might be slow since the main goal of these videos is to demonstrate RPG Stories features. If you enjoy Moonstone's lore and the campaign, you can find a link in the description where you can subscribe to our newsletter. If we see enough interest, we might release this at some point. Now let's start. Now, I'm gonna name the environment under the name of the episode, which is The Fall, because this episode starts with a fall. And what I want you to remember is that Moonstone is a world that resembles the nature of, let's say, Middle-earth. It's a normal world with forests, rivers, plains, mountains, cities, etc. Let's open the journal from here and name the first page The Fall, and keep some notes. This quest starts with a fall. The players find themselves in the air, facing the ground, and they start falling. Now remember that the journal autosaves everything, so that means you can just go and click the X to close it. So that's the beginning of the adventure, and since it starts with the players falling from the sky, we need to go up to the air and build what they will see from above. So what I'm going to do is I will press the hotkey T so that I can go to a perfect top view, and then I will scroll out. And since our quest starts in a forest, I'm gonna open the grounds and select a nice grass, this one, yes. I'm gonna turn off the grid with the G hotkey because I don't really need it now. And I'm gonna go to objects. I'm gonna type trees. I'm gonna pick, where's my favorite tree? Here it is. And so I will place the first tree in order to build the forest. And now instead of adding the trees one by one, I will hold Alt in order to activate the mass placement tool, and I will start creating the forest that my players will be seeing from the sky. Here we go. Pretty nice. And just because it is me, I also want to add some rocks. So let's open the object collection again. Pick these first rocks here and place them. Remember that with the X hotkey you can copy-paste objects. Alright. Before we continue with the story, remember that by clicking here or pressing the hotkey M, you can open the mass placement settings and test some of the nice options we have. I'm gonna add a little bit more flair to it because I know that when my players appear here in the sky, the weather will be a little bit moody. So I'm gonna open the weather collection and let's pick no, I don't want rain. Let's go with cloud and thunder. All right, cool. Now, this should be a cinematic scene for your players. I will try not to do a lot of spoilers, but since they got here in the sky by a spell effect, they are unable to react until they are on the ground. So do not let them talk, do not let them react, just describe the scene and describe the fall. Now, as I explain a few things, I will be keeping some notes in the journal. Let's open it. So once they open their eyes, they find themselves 100 feet up to the sky. They see the forest below them and they start falling with great speed. So as they fall, each player realizes that the rest of the party is there, but there is nothing they can do about it. And although they feel they're gonna die, hitting on the branches surprisingly doesn't harm them. And just before they hit the ground, let's zoom in, they freeze for a second and pop, they fall alive and safe. So in order to describe this scene, all you need is to create this beautiful 3D scene here. I think it took me like a few seconds. Now this leads to the next scene of the episode, and you have basically two options. You can continue building here, and maybe add fog of war in order to hide things that you don't want your players to see. Or, which I personally prefer, you can create a new tab, or even better, duplicate this one by clicking here and continue building. I prefer this way because I always like the idea of having everything split into tabs. It helps my OCD, first of all, plus since I'm the main producer of RPG stories, I know that our multiplayer will eventually allow the Dungeon Master to place different players to different tabs. So yeah, I decided to duplicate this. And I will name it After the Fall. And now I'm good to go. Okay, now that the players are on the ground, let's place a green VFX to use it to show their position. VFXs work exactly like the objects. So I'll open the VFX collection. Let's take this one and place it where they fall. Nice. Keep in mind that under this collection we will eventually add a lot of spell effects for the VTT. So before we continue building, let's note a few things about the player character's condition. If they investigate, they will realize first of all that a spell effect brought them here. I will again open the journal to keep some notes. Let's create a new page and call it Player's Condition. So what you need to remember is this. They have lost their memory entirely. The only things they remember are their class, race, and their abilities. Also that their last name is Athalos, and thus that they are all siblings. Obviously, if your players are of different races, they will probably assume that they were adopted. Anyhow, they are 100% sure they grew up together under the same family. Another thing you should mention is that they feel like this forest is part of their homeland. The nature around them at least seems familiar. You know, in a sense, let's say for example, I'm from Greece, and if you teleport me to the Amazon rainforest, I will probably know that I'm not in Greece anymore. So, all in all, they do not remember the name of their kingdom, but you may let them remember that this world is called Moonstone. Finally, although they are level 1, they have a feeling that probably before whatever happened to them, they were a lot stronger. And this is something that as the DM you should feel free to use it later on, especially when it comes to knowledge. An example, okay, yes, the wizard of the party is indeed level 1, but their arcana knowledge is far greater than that. Got it? Yep. So spend some time letting them realize all these things and then let them role-playing. The first thing my players always do is to search their stuff, so in that case let's again add a few notes. Spoiler alert, they come from a wealthy family, so let them own any equipment they like, plus, according to their background, it would be fair for each one to hold a magical weapon, 1 or 2 scrolls, and maybe some potions. Also, by searching themselves, they will realize that probably before they ended up here, they were traveling, because they have anything one needs to travel and camp in the wilderness. Finally, and most important, one of them has a letter. Or no, better. One of them has a note. Let me open a new page and name it, the note. Okay, so the note says, "Leave at dawn. I will make sure to secure your escape. Go to the dungeon I discovered, and let's do this. Yours, Goodspell." Of course, they do not remember any of it, nor who this Goodspell guy is. Now, I will ask from my current party playing this campaign, Please, no spoilers in the comments. Okay, cool. Now that the players are on the ground and they have all the needed information of their condition, let's continue building the after the fall scene. It is only certain that the players eventually will start looking around, trying to figure out where to go, in order to understand what happened to them. You guys will have to wait a few episodes to find out, so let's see what encounters we have near them. I will first add 3 major elements around the player's fall. The first one is the orc, which will be the title of our next episode, the orc. I will go to Monsters Collection, type orc, and here it is, noise but looking orc. Of course, placing monsters works exactly like placing objects. So I will pick it and place it here, to the player's west. Good. Let's zoom out. Now, to the north, we need 4 small low-level demons. Let's open the collection again. And before I pick a model for the demons, let me let you know that in here you will be able to find every single monster you want. So, demon. Okay, let's pick this one. I will place it here. And since I want these special monsters to be small in size, I will drag it to get the size I want. And then, since I need 3 more, I will copy paste. So 1, 2, 3 more. Perfection. Now let's go back and add to the east the third story element, which is a path that splits the forest heading north and south. So I will go to objects and I will find this nice mud that I like. Here it is, and create that path, basically by copy pasting that certain object. I prefer to add less models for the path, and that is why I don't want to use the mass placement tool. You do not want your scenes to get heavy for no reason. Remember, we support medium spec species and max, but you know, less is premium. Okay, looks good. And now you will say, hey Ayes, this is not a forest. And where is the rest of the forest? In the east, in the north, whatever. So I know. So let's see how easy it is to grow our scene so that it will make sense to everyone. Of course, you can go manually and, you know, start adding everything you want. Copy paste trees, things like that. But we like to do things fast, right? So what I'm going to do is I will zoom out, then hide the layers that I don't want to copy paste by clicking this green button so it turns red. And now I will box select the forest and copy paste, rotate, place. And I will do the same to the north. Nice. And now let's add some more in the east and the south. Same principle. And let's change a few things here and there, so you know that it's not identical. And choop, delete this. And why not add some flowers, I guess. So you know the drill. Object collection, you type flowers. Here we go. Alt for mass placement. And go. Beautifully. Beautiful. Alright. So, our beloved adventurers fell from the sky. They have no clue what is going on. They have a note that doesn't make any sense. They were probably helped to escape from somewhere from a guy called Goodspell. And they will already have to face an orc NPC, or maybe enemy, some low-level demons, and they need to figure out what is going on with this path that will lead them somewhere. So that's all I got for today. We meet in the next episode. Bye all!